There's a kind of betrayal that rarely gets admitted. No suspicious texts, no dramatic discovery, no single moment you can point to and say, that's when it broke. And yet, something inside you knows the atmosphere has changed. Nothing obvious took place, no confession, no undeniable evidence, no scene where everything shattered in plain sight. Still, your body reacted. The relationship began to feel different, quieter, less steady, harder to relax inside. You tried to reason with yourself. You told yourself you were imagining it, that you didn't have solid proof, that you were being too sensitive. But your nervous system didn't agree with that story. This is where many people get stuck. We're taught that cheating follows a clear script: secret meetings, flirtation, physical intimacy. So when our experience doesn't match that image, we question ourselves instead of the shift we're feeling. But the nervous system doesn't operate on labels, it responds to patterns. And today we're exploring the kinds of betrayal that don't look dramatic on the outside, yet land in the body all the same. The first form is emotional displacement. This happens when someone else slowly becomes your partner's primary source of comfort, validation, excitement, or understanding. You're still in the role of partner, technically, but you're no longer the emotional center. What makes this so disorienting is that there may be no obvious wrongdoing, no overt flirting, no clear boundary violation, just a subtle but consistent redirecting of energy. Attachment doesn't measure closeness by titles, it measures it by where attention and priority go. When emotional presence repeatedly flows elsewhere, the body experiences it as instability, even if your mind insists you shouldn't feel threatened. The second form is secrecy, masked as independence. Privacy is healthy. Everyone deserves personal space and individuality within a relationship, but secrecy has a different quality. Privacy protects identity. Secrecy hides information to avoid discomfort. Maybe messages are erased, interactions are downplayed, details only surface if you ask very specific questions. You're reassured that it's nothing important, yet you sense a gap between what's shared and what's withheld. That gap is what hurts. This pain isn't rooted in paranoia. The brain is wired to interpret hidden information as potential danger. When something significant feels obscured, your nervous system fills in the blanks, not because you're jealous, because it's trying to protect you. Even if nothing inappropriate is occurring, a consistent lack of transparency can register as betrayal. A third form is redirected intimacy. This isn't about physical closeness, it's about emotional access. The deep conversations that once belonged to your relationship now happen elsewhere. The curiosity, playfulness, and engagement that once felt shared now seem invested in someone outside the bond. You're still together, the relationship still exists, but the emotional richness feels thinner. What arises here isn't just insecurity, it's grief. Most bonds don't collapse overnight. They erode gradually when intimacy stops being mutual. When your partner builds depth with someone else while your connection remains surface level, your system experiences that as loss, even if the relationship hasn't officially ended. The fourth form shows up as defensiveness instead of repair. Over time, this one does profound damage. You express that something feels off, not to accuse, not to control, but to reconnect. Instead of reassurance, you're met with dismissal. You're told you're overthinking, too sensitive, expecting too much. But trust doesn't grow through invalidation, it grows through responsiveness. When discomfort is repeatedly met with defensiveness, the initial rupture never gets soothed. The body stays vigilant. Eventually, the nervous system learns a painful lesson. Expressing hurt leads to more distance, not closeness. Repair is what restores safety after tension. Without it, trust doesn't explode, it quietly dissolves. Here's the perspective that matters. Cheating isn't only about physical acts, it's about loyalty,
honesty, and emotional security. If something consistently leaves you feeling unchosen, unseen, or subtly replaced, that response isn't weakness, it's information. The nervous system is precise. It tracks where attention goes, where emotional closeness is invested, and whether moments of strain are healed or avoided. You don't need a dramatic scandal to validate your feelings, and you don't need undeniable proof to respect your internal experience. Sometimes nothing official happened, and still something meaningful was lost. Recognizing that doesn't mean jumping to conclusions. It means honoring what your body has been registering all along and deciding what kind of connection truly feels safe, steady, and like home. If this resonated with you, subscribe to the channel and leave a like.